Hope you're having a great day. I am doing just an everyday makeup look today, and I'm going to get right into it. I'm going to start out with my VFX Pro Camera Ready Strobe Foundation. This is one of my favorites because when I put it on, you'll be able to see pretty much instantly. It gives you a little bit of glow. And when I say a little bit of glow, it's just a tiny hint of glow. So I'm going to put it on half my face and then compare it to the other half. And the difference will be subtle. The difference will be very subtle, but you'll just catch a little bit of luminous glow compared to the other side. Nothing wrong with this side, but that little bit of glow sometimes, just gives us a little bit of pick-me-up. Now, I'll remind you that if you're new, that I don't see without my glasses. Hi from Los Angeles. Hi, Carol. Hi, Kiki. I'll remind you that I am blind without my glasses up close. So if I miss your comment, I will definitely get back to you. Aw, thank you, Cuba Lakeland and Leslie from Hazel Green, Alabama. We're neighbors. So there's that little bit of glow. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and do the other one. Now, this went on to my already prepped skin. So just straight out of the shower. Right now, I'm using kind of a hodgepodge of skincare, which some days is just very, very basic. And I'm loving using the CeraVe line. It's very simple, every day. Oh, thanks, Leslie. Yes. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for saying hi. So the CeraVe line is really, really nice. And I'm even trying out their eye repair cream and their eye serum, which so far I think is really, really great. So if you're looking for a new, inexpensive, I think it's inexpensive, $11 to $14, I believe. $11 to $14 for eye creams. They've got an eye repair cream, which is really, really nice. And it's for dark circles and puffiness. And then they've also got one, and I've got the box right here for the other one. They've also got an eye cream for reducing fine lines and crow's feet. And this one is the one that has the caffeine in it. So they're all good, I think. I like CeraVe, not for every single day of my life. I like to switch things up quite a bit. But I think that they're a really solid brand. And they have a nice barrier cream that I'm using for my face, which is typically pretty dry. So I'm going to go ahead and just put all my primers on at once, eye primers and everything. Hi from Texas. This is a true definition of reality living. Thank you. And also live chatters. Yeah, so much fun to say hi to everybody. So hi. Thanks for saying hi. I imagine, some are on their lunch break. So thanks for hanging out with me. And of course, I don't know. What's lunchtime for you? Lunchtime for me is like 1:30 or 2 o'clock. So I'm weird. I always kind of eat breakfast late, and then everything's, nothing's normal. Nothing's normal here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my eye primer on as well so I don't forget that. So I'm just using this one by Revlon. And I think it was like $4. So I mean, if you're really buying makeup on a budget and trying to incorporate, all the kind of things that make your makeup look better, then $4 is a real bargain. And it's the same size as the other one that I used by Urban Decay. Same size. I don't see that one is any better than the other. So and I just work it right down into my lash line. I'll go through my eyebrow and kind of out if I might bring some shadow out there. So that's it. So Revlon for the win on that one, especially for the price, because I think the The Urban Decay is good too, but it's twice as much money. So now that the primers are over the clean and prepped skin, I am ready to move this out of my way. I am ready to go into whatever's next, which is probably going to be just a little foundation. I'm using, and I know I did a video on this before, but and it was just recently where I talked about how if your makeup is not staying on all day or it's separating, that you need to take a look at the ingredients to see if you're using a silicone-based or a water-based product. And so I am using, everything is silicone-based for me, which is what a lot of the products are going to be. But there are some surprising things that are actually water-based that you would never know. So I'm using one that actually goes with the primer that I put on my face, which is the VFX Pro. This is a camera-ready foundation, and I like this one because the camera-ready foundations, if you've never tried them, have like a photo filter in them. So if you've ever taken a selfie of your face, if you've ever taken a selfie, obviously it's going to be of your face. Okay. If you've ever taken a selfie and you notice that you have like all these strange things show up on your face, that you just need either a filter on your phone or a photo filter camera ready foundation. And because your skin doesn't really look like that to the natural eye, but our cameras are so advanced now, they pick up all those little crazy things. I am mortified more times than I can admit when I go and look at a video of myself where I'm like, whoa, that does not look like me at all. I look, and this sounds crazy, but I look so much better in person, okay? Even with my glasses on. So if you see yourself in a photo, yeah, absolutely, Donna. If you see yourself in a photo and, you think, whoa, what is that? That's not how you look. So just take a chill pill. Everything's fine. You're gorgeous. And the cameras are just doing a little bit too much for us sometimes. So I am going to just apply this with, I'm actually trying to get a little bit of a darker color to mix with it. Same kind of foundation, just a little bit darker. I'm out of my favorite color. And I'm going to use a damp beauty blender. Now, I've been spraying my sponge in my videos and showing how I do this. I spray the damp beauty blender, just kind of spray it around, and then this will set my makeup in place at the same time as applying it. So I've just got my makeup on the back of my hand. I've kind of smeared it with my finger. I'm just going to pick up some of that on there, and then I'm going to start in the middle of my face. Now I'm looking over here because I have a mirror that I can see that will magnify things for me because, like I said, I can't see. So I'm just going to start in the center of my face, which is where I need most of my color anyway. Center of my face, and then work outward. My most difficult area to cover is my nose, and I think that is probably very similar for a lot of people. So I start in the middle, work my way out, and I spend the most time on my nose since that is where I have to get it just right or I'm just not going to feel right all day. Can you identify with that feeling? Oh, thank you. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to use a little bit more. I still have some redness in this area. I haven't done an update on my facial that I got, if you saw that video, because I'm still sort of peeling in this area and I'm still really dry. And so I hadn't really gotten through the whole thing, and I thought, well, I better wait until all that stops before I actually go and report on any differences I might be seeing. But since we're right here talking about it, I may as well tell you. I feel like my skin was a little bit smoother after. And I know I did a very, very gentle chemical peel. And they only did the shaving in this area here, which is why I'm getting that little bit of peely stuff still. But I think that unless you do that kind of thing all the time, which, is like every 2 or 3 months, I don't think, one time definitely doesn't do much for you. So I think that where you see the results I think where you see the results is when you do it all the time. So if you did it for a year, I think you would definitely see a difference in your skin. Okay, so the question is, what do you recommend to reduce clogged pores on the nose? I actually love this one by Paula's Choice. I don't know if I have it here. It's by Paula's Choice, though. And I will definitely tell you about myself here in just a minute. So I love the one by Paula's Choice. And it's just a little tube. And you put it on after you shower. And it's an exfoliant that's really, really gentle. And it's a leave-on exfoliant. So you don't have to, it doesn't burn or anything. I mean, it could, I guess, if you were really, really sensitive, maybe you had super sensitive, you might actually feel just a little bit of a sting. But for most people, you can't feel it when you put it on, and it just leaves your skin nicely moisturized. You can use it a couple of times a week, and it will clear up clogged pores. And I love that one. So that one's by Paula's Choice. So the question then was, why am I on YouTube? These are my words, not your words. So the question was, why YouTube? And oh my goodness, I'm gonna have to look because my attention span is so short. Let me see if I can find that comment again. Okay, I'm just gonna wing it. So why YouTube, and kind of what's my story? So my story is kind of funny. At first, my granddaughter lives about 2 hours away. She's the only grandchild so far. And I was really missing her, and I thought, golly, you know, she's going to grow up during this pandemic, and I am never going to get to see that child. Okay. Absolutely. Thanks, Judith. Thank you. It looks like Cuba Lakeland. Okay. Yeah. So I was actually really missing her and having a little bit of a pity party for myself. And I thought, man, I'm never going to get to know that girl. She's going to be grown up by the time, you know, I get to do anything with her. And it really was bothering me. So I thought, well, I'll just, you know, I don't have any girls in my family. I mean, it's just me and my mom. I have sons. Sons are great, but you know, generally, I'm not going to say always, generally you don't want to, you know, teach your kids, if they're boys, makeup. Today, you know, it's different, so anything goes. And I'm not judging one way or another. I'm just saying I didn't want to teach my sons my makeup skills, and they didn't want to learn. So, but anyway, I'm going to use this palette here. And this is actually the 3 Steps to Sculpt by NYX. And I'm going to use that color right there on my eyelids. And then I'm going to use different colors on my lids, but that's the only light color I have, and I really like that, so I'm going to dust that. So I thought, well, I'll go ahead and start making some makeup videos for my granddaughter, because she's the only one that I know that may want to wear makeup in the future, and then she can watch some videos of her grandmother putting on makeup, because her other grandmother doesn't wear any. And I thought, what a beautiful experience for her. Later, maybe when I'm dead, she'll have that. So that's how I started. And I didn't start out on YouTube. Many of you know that. I started out on TikTok. And I think the difference between TikTok and YouTube is that YouTube is more of the kind of like the adults' playground. Things seem to be a little more, I don't know. I'm just going to leave it at that. and TikTok seems to be a little bit more of just everybody's playground. So you can really just be out there to create fun content, or just for yourself over there. And then I think that when you are on YouTube, it seems like, yeah, there's a degree of that as well. But it seems like it's more of the big boys over here. Like, well, you're, you know, if you have gotten serious about creating content for one reason or another, for your business or your hobby or what have it, then it seems like you're over here. And I could be wrong about all that, but that's the way it seems. So I had been on TikTok for about 1.5 years, and I thought that I was just actually posting, a video now and then over here, not really having any purpose, because I've had a YouTube account since 2013. No purpose whatsoever. Just thought, wow, I'll spread my videos around a little bit farther. I do the same thing, repurpose them, onto Instagram and so on. And one of my videos kind of blew up over here, and I started getting followers. It was funny because I thought, I remember actually saying this out loud. Why are 200 people following me on YouTube? I'm not putting any content over there really. And then pretty soon I was like, wow, 1,000 people followed me on YouTube. And I thought, whoa, what is going on over there? Then I started to pay attention, and I thought, I should go over there and start creating content. Now I'm just using this same palette, and I'm just continuing to apply it where I feel like it's not quite dark enough. I know this is a little bit longer than I would normally take, but I don't want to overdo it. And then, long story short, I fell in love with YouTube. And I have this whole new bunch of great people to talk to, so I appreciate you being here. So much more fun over here. I'm actually having more fun over here than I ever did on TikTok. So, shh, don't tell anybody. I'm just going to do a soft contour. Soft contour on the jowl there. And up this side. Very, very soft. And that way when I go out in the sunshine, it won't be a big drastic change. It'll just look soft and natural. Like you wouldn't know it was there unless you'd watched the video. All right. So I'm going to go straight into doing some eyebrows, and I don't have my normal tape. I don't feel like doing one of my stamps, so I'm going to I'm going to use a different kind of tape, even though it's not as sticky. This is my washi tape. Okay, it's cute. It has little hearts on it. And this normally would not take a long time. But when I talk, everything slows down. So if it takes, and I just dropped it on the floor. So now we're going to blue, because I happen to have blue sitting here too. And this is going to be really exciting for people who stop by the live shortly after I've started, because they're going to be like, why is this woman wearing blue and green tape on her face? So I just kind of get it in the middle. So the idea is to get it to where if you made a straight line right up the side of your nostril, not your nostril, I do this every time, right up the side of your nose on both sides, that's where you want your eyebrow to start. So I want that to stay there. It's not going to stick on very well, but I'm going to go ahead and outline my brows anyway with it so that I have a little guideline and I can go faster. Of course it doesn't want to stick because I've got all kinds of good stuff on my face. I'm going to try it anyway and just get through it quickly. And just come above my eyebrow. Now I know where my arch goes, so I'm just slapping it on there. Again, if I don't see your comment, I will answer it eventually. Right now, I gotta hurry with this tape. And I look like a Christmas package. A very cool Christmas package. That's what I'm telling myself anyway. That's what I'm going with. Alright. I've actually ordered some tape that's going to help with brows from Amazon, so I can tell I've got those crooked. But I love this tape method because you can actually see if everything is straight before you start filling in. And I've never had this not stick this badly. I'm just going to overlap because I can see where it's not quite right. All right, now that I look totally crazy, I'm going to use my eyeshadow palette because I can't find my favorite brow powder, which is by Ellisy, and it is on my Amazon store. So I'm going to use this palette that I have called Mighty Mattes. So if you want an entire palette that's inexpensive and it's just matte colors, this is a great one. And these are all the nudes, and I think I'm going to just go for a light color like this one right here. I'm using an eyeshadow brush. Now the brushes are by Motted, and I love these. They're hooded eye set, 1, 2, 3, 4, and they're awesome. So I'm just going to start at where the peak of my eyebrow would be and pat it on. Normally this would stick better. So I can't wait till that tape arrives. Normally I would use the gentle paper tape for wounds, but you can't seem to find that anymore. So I don't know what's happened. It suddenly, you know, all of our supply chains are so terrible. Oh, no, you didn't. All right, now I'm going to have to go fast just to keep that on there. And someone's out there thinking, you should have used the eyebrow stencil. No, 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 no. I can't do the same eyebrows every day. It drives me crazy. It drives me crazy to do the same thing all the time. It's too monotonous. All right, now, if this is not perfect, that's okay. I'll just fix it with concealer. And wow, that was the worst tape ever. Worst tape ever. All right. But I have the basics down, and now you can see what I like to do. What I like about that so much is that it gives me the perfect spacing in between my eyes because my nose is crooked. So when I put my eyebrows on, if I use the guidelines that we're supposed to use, it's actually going to be offset a little bit. So I love to use the tape. It helps me get them straighter. All right, so now that that's done, I'm going to clean these up a little bit with a little bit of concealer on a brush. Just going to get a little concealer on the back of my hand. Use my little brush. I want to get just enough on there to where it's going to glide under. And I'm just going to clean it up like that. And then these two little, actually, I'm just going to use a Q-tip on that. Anywhere where it's a little too square, just use a little Q-tip. Kind of soften it up. Okay, a little bit darker there. Okay, I'm going to go under the other one. And then what I like to do is go over this with an eyebrow mascara. Okay. I like to work off the excess onto usually a Kleenex, because if you go onto your eye with a giant blob, it's going to be a mess. So work it all off, okay? And then if you do it on the back of your hand, yeah, it's a mess, but you can actually dip back into it. And then I'm going to go in and highlight all of the little hairs that I actually do have to try and make it look a little bit more realistic. And you know, your brows are not supposed to be perfectly identical. They're supposed to be similar, but they don't have to be twins. And I can see where I've missed some areas. Now that I'm looking at my 10x magnification mirror, normally I would do 2 of these things and not all of them, but today, since I've missed some and I'm also live, I'm going to use that NYX Lift and Snatch pen to fill in these areas. Now, I don't have anything right here except for makeup. So I'm going to actually do some little tiny, just a couple of little tiny hair strokes there that really are not going to be visible to the naked eye. And then in this area here where I completely missed it because my tape was moving, just do some little short strokes and fill in. And then I'm not able to do this while I'm live with you, but as a precaution before I leave, I normally do a quick selfie just to make sure that I don't have crooked brows, or to make sure that one's not fatter than the other, because that frequently will happen to me. And it's partially because one of my brows is naturally fatter than the other one, and they actually, one of them aims this way and one of them aims this way. So, you know, life is not perfect. Nor will my brows be. So if those are different, it's because I can't take a selfie. But I will fix them when I can. So we're gonna go with that for right now. They're similar. They're sisters. At a minimum, they're cousins. All right. They're definitely cousins. We're moving on. We're moving on. It doesn't have to be perfect, okay? You're perfect inside, and so am I. So we're moving in. Moving on. All right. That's the NYX Lift and Snatch pen. It's awesome. All right. Let's see what we're doing. Let's do some quick pink on the cheeks. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to do a little bit of a bronzer. I'm going to do a little bit of a bronzer instead, okay? A little bit of bronzer. Always work it off on my wrist to see that it's not going to be too much first and see how it's going to act, and work it through my brush. And then I'm just going to do it right where I would normally get a little bit of sun. Right across the bridge of my nose. Just to give me a little bit of warmth into my skin. Bronzers can be really, really hard to wear if they're too shimmery. This one just has a little bit of shimmer, so I can pull it off. And they do have bronzers actually now that don't have any shimmer at all. So if you like bronzer because it does give that warm look to the skin, then definitely search out one of those. They also have cream bronzers. Those are nice. I think the cream bronzers are really pretty, and for some reason you can actually, it seems like you can actually handle a little bit more of um, the glow that it gives you from the cream ones. And there's some really inexpensive cream ones as well that look gorgeous. All right, that's all I'm doing there. I am going to layer a little tiny bit of pink because I'm probably going to go for a reddish lip in some way. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of my pink. Okay, same thing. I always work it off on my wrist just to see how it's going to look. And I've noticed that lately in photos that I need some pink more in this area. Remember in the old days when they'd say, you know, like put the pink on the apple of your cheek? Well, I'm back to that where I need a little bit right here, because I feel like it's just not enough if it's out here. So I'll use my contour out here to give my face a little bit of dimension, and then I just kind of give myself a little bit here because I need a little bit of life in my face right there. Color to me is life. So a little bit right there, and that's it. So, all right, that's blush. Moving right along, I am going to do a simple lip. Simple. I'm going to hydrate my lips first with a lip plumper and let them plump a little bit, just a little bit. I like the one by City Beauty. I know that somebody commented the other day that they got one and it didn't do anything for them. It definitely does something for me. It does increase the volume of your lips, and it kind of feels like a little bit of I guess like pepper on your lips. And then once they plump up, it just kind of makes things a little bit bigger for us thin-lipped people. If you're thin-lipped. And then I'm going to use, I bought this CoverGirl Simply Ageless Instant Wrinkle Blurring Pressed Powder. And I've been dying to get into it because I do like to put a little bit of powder on my nose a lot of times, just to sort of blur away pores. And let me find a brush here. Blur away pores, and just, I get a little oily there. So that's fine. I'm going to use a concealer brush. And this one is just like this. And I was amazed at how nice it goes on. I'm just going to use it in the center of my face for a little bit of brightening. So I'm going to put it right here. It does not appear to be, and I'm going to use it right around my nose, just in case I'm going to crease up there. It does not appear to be drying, although I don't dare go near my eyes with it. And I'm going to use it as a highlighter right there. I'm going to drop my brush and just a little bit right there. Right there. And use it between my eyes. So instead of using the concealer to brighten, I'm just going to use a little bit of this. And it does give a nice little blurring. I'm going to use it here. Here. I gotta be careful down here because I'm still a little dry. Still a little dry and peely looking. And I think it's been 2 weeks too since I've done my little face dealy. So, and I left that little bit across the tip of my nose just to make it look like the sun danced across there naturally, which of course I wouldn't dare do because I'm always wearing sunscreen on. And when I forget to put sunscreen on, I use a setting spray with sunscreen. So that is the way to take care of that. But I'm kind of like a vampire these days. It's like I rarely go outside. I'm waiting for the bugs to disappear. Like, I just want the bugs to go away. Just go away, and then I'll be happy and go outside. All right, I'm going to blot this. And then I'm going to use my lip liner, which I'm going to use the clear one. This one's by Maybelline. Now, if you get one of these, I want you to not get the micro pencil. If this is on your list of things to buy, Maybelline has two of them. One is the crayon like this, and then the other one is a twist up micro pencil. Don't get the micro pencil because it's a little bit more money, and on top of that, it breaks very easily. So this is really, really soft and crumbly. So yeah, just get this one. It's a better value. And then you can kind of sketch if you have those little lines around your mouth like I do. Kind of fill in those lines. It's very creamy and it's clear. And then go around your lips. I like to use it on the side, like in a sideways motion instead of directly on. Because it kind of gives you a wider barrier then. And I have like acne scars and all kinds of crazy things I can see here. But I'm looking in my 10x mirror too, so you're not going to see a lot of that. You might see a little bit. I always think it's funny when people tell me, you don't have any wrinkles around your lips. I'm like, they're there. They're there. Okay, so once I get it on there, just blend it out a little bit with my finger. And I think all skin tones can use these, so I don't think it's just for, you know, like little peachy girls like me. Peachy color girls. I'm not white, I'm peachy. Okay? All right, so now that that's on, I have a nice barrier, so if I want to wear lip gloss or whatever, it's all going to stay neatly in there. And I'll put the list for everything in the description sometime later today, probably after several hours of doing other things. So, all right, and then I'm just going to use, I'm wearing kind of orangey browns. So I'm probably going to go for something that's kind of in the middle, kind of like a reddish brown. All right, no perfect job. And these are, what is this? This is in the color Orchid. I don't know who it's by. It doesn't even say. It's Orchid, and it's a 5-piece set that I found on Amazon. And I'm surprised it says Orchid because I think on the others it just has a number. I have a cat hair. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's do some quick eyes and then we'll get out of here, ladies. Thanks for hanging out. This is fun for me because it gives me a chance to talk and connect with you, and you know, it's more fun than just doing a video and going, there you go, there's your video. I always try to answer everything, so if I ever don't answer your questions because I did something weird and deleted it or something happened accidental, because I don't ignore people who ask questions. I can't stand it when I ask a creator something and they don't ever answer, or it takes 3 weeks to answer. So I try to, you know, I have like a 48-hour rule. Okay, let's do some simple eyes, and I'm going to, I think I'm just going to use this. I think I'm just going to use the Mighty Mattes. That's the same one that I use for my eyebrows. And this, you can tell I've been digging in. I've had this for a while. It's an easy one to use. I'm going to use that pink there. And I'm going to Just take it all over. Don't have to worry about accidentally getting any shimmers if you don't want them in this, because it's just all matte. I'm just covering my whole entire lid with that pale pink. This is on Amazon too. I think there's, well, I'm not supposed to talk about prices, but I think it's definitely under $12. So if you need a gift for somebody or yourself, super easy, great ratings. And as you can see, you can use it for your eyebrows and everything. Okay, now once that's on there, I'm going to grab this grayish, it's kind of a grayish brown. I think it's the same, no, I'm going to use this dark one. Now I've been digging in these because sometimes I'll make my own color, something or other, you know. And so it, let me find my glasses so I can see what was said. Okay, I didn't understand that really. Oh, I think what that says is really like what you do. Thank you so much. Okay, now Chris said I had 2 girls and 1 boy. My firstborn just died. Oh my goodness, in June at 34. I've never felt excruciating pain like this. We were so close, best friends. I am so sorry to hear that. Oh, that's got to be devastating. I can't even imagine. Can't even imagine. That's like stuff, you know, you always think when you're a parent, like the worst thing, you know, that could happen. Worst thing that could happen ever. So I'm so sorry for you. Whew. All right. So I don't have a crease because I have a hooded eye. So if you do have a crease, you would put this in your crease, which would be sort of like this, right? You'd put it in your crease. And then you'd actually come around to the bottom here. And when you apply it, pretty much everybody can apply their eyeshadow in a C shape. Even if you have to change it a little bit, if you have really small eyes or really big eyes, pretty much everybody can try a C shape. All right. So for me, when I relax my eye, most of the color disappears, so I just bring it up a little bit higher. So that when my face is totally relaxed, you can see that color, like that. Otherwise, it's just, there was no point putting it on there. My oldest son, who is, whoa, that's bad. I'm terrible with birthdays. He is 29. He had a motorcycle accident. It's been 2 years ago. And it was devastating. It was devastating. Not as bad as losing him, obviously. And that's kind of what got me through it, was just thinking, wow, you know, every time I talked to him, he had so many surgeries and all kinds of problems. But every time I talked to him, I'm like, hey, but you're alive, you know? And took him a long time, and he's never going to be, you know, totally like he was before, but he is as normal as he's going to be, and he can walk and talk, and he has his arms, and I'm so thankful that he you know, was one of those to always wear his protective gear, and I mean, ultimately it saved his life. And so we're just hoping that he won't get back on a motorcycle. Now my youngest, who is still 17, wants a motorcycle, and I'm like, oh no, 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 no. There's not enough praying in the world to make me feel good about that. Of course, you know, you worry about him anyway, no matter what. Worry about him no matter what. I'm just trying to get this even here. I love these brushes. Mod had sent these to me. It's been a couple months ago, and I think they're going to send me another set for like face brushes. But these are really, really nice. They don't have this set on Amazon. You have to go to their website to buy them. But they're well worth it. I think they were like $35 for the set. And I mean, it's not like you have to buy new brushes all the time. So they're really nice. I don't get paid from it or anything. I just, if it's nice, I'm going to tell you about it. All right, I'm trying to compare this in the light to see if I've got this on pretty evenly. But since everything's at a little bit of a slant, I'm doing the best I can. Best I can. Just to make sure. All right, so once I get it on there, I'm going to use a bigger brush to blend. And I'm just going to windshield wiper back and forth to make sure that there's no streaks, doesn't look grainy. Windshield wiper back and forth. And it helps to use a clean brush in between your eyes so that you're not dragging color from one to the other, or you can kind of use a tissue or something in between to clean it off. All right, now I'm going to use just a tiny bit of this really white, kind of like a super white. And I'm going to use it, that's probably too much. I'm going to use it right here to lift that brow a little bit. And kids are wonderful. Not all kids, I've seen kids on the playground and I've thought, oh, I'm glad those are not my kids. I'm not one of those people that just loves, just loves every child. I wish I was, but I'm not. All right, and then I'm going to use that right here. Just sort of brighten up that center. Just bringing the brightness to the center of the room, basically. Always want the brightness to be in the middle of your face. As a general rule. So just bring that in. And get a slight blend. Okay. And that's it. Very, very basic. I'm going to use my little No Budge pencil as a liner. I don't usually wear liners, but I had a request to do liner. So I'm going to use my e.l.f. No Budge liner in a black. And with hooded eyes, this is a real good trick. So since there's not much of my movable lid that is visible, right, when I'm looking ahead or up. So what you can do is, and if it smudges on your eyelids, then this helps too. You can actually work it through your lashes. And this is kind of like the same feeling that you would get from actually putting on your mascara. So you can blink it through, or if you can stand to, you can work it through. And this is a little bit different than lining underneath. Now you can also line underneath. You can line underneath and look at the difference between my eyes just with the little lining underneath. But if we actually work it through the lashes a little bit, it's going to give us a little bit more definition. And it feels funny when you first start doing it, but it's going to give us a little bit more definition. But you're not going to be able to get it all over your lids because it's not going to reach. So my eye hangs down quite a ways, but it's not going to be able to hang down over my lashes. So that's why it's going to stay put. But you do want a waterproof, smudge-proof eyeliner to do that with. Let's see if I can get this one done. And if you don't like how the color deposits on your bottom lash line, then you can just keep it closer to your lash line up here instead of putting it all over your waterline. Just working it through. And now I have just a little bit of definition. For my eyes, since they're so light, I need to have some kind of definition. Otherwise, they just look a little washed out. And then what I'm going to do on top is I'm going to use this little brush here. Okay. It's a little bit dirty. That's okay. I'm going to wash my brushes this week. And what I'm going to do on top is I'm going to dip it into that same gray color. I may take the brown too. Just dip the tip in there. I'll use the brown instead. Maybe a little bit of black. And then I'm going to just stamp it on sort of a stamping brush. And I'm not going to come all the way in. So I'm going to come about halfway in. And I'm going to keep it at an angle so that my eye looks more, whatever the word is for, and then I'll just blend this outward, swoop it out as far as I can, so that it gives me just a tiny bit of a cat eye look, right? So you see the difference between the two? It's very little, but it does give you a little bit of a lifted look. And we'll do the same thing over here. And I have to hold my eye differently on one side than the other. I don't know why. And I just come from the outside in. Move my mirror for a minute to see if I'm doing this right. Outside in. A little swoop. Just a little bit. Then we're going to curl some lashes, throw on some mascara, and we're done. So if you're a creator and you're trying to grow your account, I want you to go check out my new account. It's just my name, just Camille Cower. And it's the account that's got like 57 followers or something. It's brand new, couple weeks old. And it just kind of gives you a little bit of encouragement and some tips and things that help grow your community. All right, now I'm going to use my big old tube here. This one is Extreme Black, and it's by Estee Lauder. I got these for Christmas. I love them. Love them. But I have to get super close, and I'm going to do more out here than anything. I don't want a heavy lash look today. I'm just going to kind of sweep things off to the side. Keep it nice and light. Easy peasy. And if your mascara bothers your eyes, you can always just apply it to the tips, and that way it won't touch your eyes and make them water. Just gonna swoop everything, and then I've got a little bit down here that has deposited from my lash line up top, and what I'm gonna do is just take my smaller brush. What, is this the smaller one? I think this is the smaller one. I'm going to take my smaller brush. That's not a very small brush, though. I don't know what I did with my small brush. All right, I'm going to use this brush. It's not the smallest. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of that color right there. And I'm just going to swoop it under lightly, just to give a little bit of definition on the bottom. A little bit of definition. And then if that color bothers you, you can just get rid of it. Now, I don't recommend sticking your fingers in your eyes, but I like my finger in my eye better than a Q-tip, because a Q-tip can leave behind little hairs, and then you can have potential problems from that. I've got a little bit of fallout on my cheeks I've got to get rid of. I'm hoping I can just brush it away. It was just a little bit. Then I'm going to clean up under my eyes, and we're done. All right, this is my way to clean up under my eyes and to brighten under my eyes. I'm going to use my Pharmacy concealer. It's not a very bright concealer because I need to order a new one, but it is a good one. And I'm going to mix it with a little bit of my GoPure Glycopeptide Anti-Wrinkle Moisturizer. That was a lot to say. Anything GoPure is pretty good, so I haven't ever tried anything by them that wasn't good. I'm just going to take a little bit, and everything goes on the back of my hand with me, so it went on the back of my hand. And I'm going to mix a little bit of my concealer with it. Well, this one is light. This is light enough. I'm going to mix that with my finger and then grab my brush and pick up a little bit of that. I like to do this because sometimes those concealers can be a little bit drying. So if you mix it with a little bit of your moisturizer, then it helps it stay nice and dewy looking. So I'm just going to put that right there. I'm going to come out here. I'm just using the tiniest bit, right? The tiniest bit. It's not going to look like I'm wearing concealer. It's just going to look like it's a little brighter. I've got something stuck on my eye there. Normally, I would spray this brush with a little bit of setting spray, but since I've mixed it with a moisturizer, I'm not going to because it won't do much good. There's so little pigment in what I'm using here that it's not going to, it's not going to settle in any fine lines anyway. Just a little bit under my eyes because I don't want to highlight any bags. Just brighten right there. Any place else I might need a little bit of moisture or highlighting, and then hit it with that. So I could use a little tiny bit here. Usually the idea is you come straight down the nose and highlight all of this, right? So you highlight here, down the nose, and it helps make that nasal label fold right there sort of bounce back a little bit visually. Visually. Okay, let's see. For mascara, do you know Marcel product? They have a waterproof you can put on the top of any mascara. Excuse my English. Don't know. Okay. No, I have not heard of that one, Carol. I have not heard of Marcel. So straight down the nose, into that nasal label fold. Now, if I missed your comment, I will definitely see it later. So I'm not ignoring you. Again, just blind. And I love that there are so many people from all over the world that I get to talk to on here. So much fun. So much fun to have a neat community, a nice mixed community where, we just have so many different people, different backgrounds, different parts of the world. It's fun for me. So once I get this done, we are done and out of here. All right, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Thanks for following, of course. And I will see you tomorrow. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.